How we doing, everyone? MJS back again with another video here, another installment of the Our First Home series. Today is Wednesday, April 6th, and we are in the basement here. We've been putting in a lot of work, obviously. Here's the wall. Yeah, so we got to deal with all that. But today I want to do something that I have been talking about and I've been wanting to do for several months. I might actually get it done today, hopefully. I've just been dragging my feet because I don't want to break anything, especially because it's cold, because that task is bleeding this boiler right here. Now, if you don't have like a water, boiler, like water heating system, like, if you don't have like radiators or anything like on your floor and you have forced air, I guess, I don't know if it's a normal thing now or what, I don't know if people don't use boilers anymore, but if you have forced air, thank your lucky stars, because I came from my parents' house with forced air, for AC and, like the furnace, and it just seems like I didn't do any work or obviously anything like that on that stuff, but it just seems like this is a little more concerning, and I know people that don't like boilers, my dad included, so it's like, the idea is interesting. There seems to be some pros. Let me talk about this real quick. There seems to be some pros, like the idea of, anytime you want to heat or cool your house, there's physical air blowing, right? So, you have like the vents, like the supply lines or whatever, like in your like bedroom, for instance, and there's air blowing out of there. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's definitely, like, I would say maybe safer because it's just air as opposed to water. Like, at least if I kick this pipe right now, and like that broke or something like that, or like in a wall, like that was in a wall, right? Like if that breaks somewhere, that's kind of concerning. I mean, you could have water, I guess, all over your house because it's water in those pipes. But the one pro that I thought of was that with hot water running through pipes to warm your house like that, there's no air circulating. It's just like it's warming the environment. The pro is that, maybe you get less dust. Maybe you get less dust like moving throughout the house, but I'm actually not sure of that because, I mean, we still get dust and I don't really know what the difference is. If it's better for air to move, better for not air to move. I don't know. Regardless, apparently, maybe it's hypoallergenic. Maybe it's not. Maybe it doesn't have any effect on it. One super con that I could think of that I don't remember, like, it's not affecting us right now, but like I remember as a kid, my grandmother's house has boiler heat in at least part of it or whatever. And like I specifically remember like wondering what that was and touching it, and like touching like a hot, copper pipe with hot water running through it. And it doesn't like necessarily burn you, but it's hot. Like, as a kid, you're just like, I don't know, it's just a weird situation. But regardless of all that, okay, we're an adult now. We have a boiler system in our house. We got to deal with it. So here's the thing. You've definitely heard it on some of the vlogs if you've been following, this like loud, like gurgling pipe noise. And it just happens, I guess, when you have water in your heating system, like that loop, those two loops. In this case, we have like a loop upstairs and a loop downstairs. So it's just a closed circuit. Water gets heated up in this red thing. I'm going to give you an extremely terrible explanation of what I'm talking about here. Water gets heated up in this boiler. It goes up and it goes throughout like the house. So, like for down here, for instance, like it comes in like one of these sides, goes out the other side. Heat, emanates off of this shit and into the room or whatever. And then it goes, does its thing, and then comes back to the boiler. And at that point, like the water is cold effectively because it's giving off all the heat. And then it gets reheated and it just keeps going. So that's like the very, layman's terms of what that does. But here's the thing, it's like at some point probably these pipes were open maybe, or just over time it happens. I don't really know. I mean, I guess water could evaporate depending on how hot it is. I don't really think we have that issue, but the thing is that like when the thing turns on, you definitely hear it. You hear a lot of like kind of like gurgling in the pipes. Like it's not like a full pipe of water just moving. It seems like it's like, maybe 3/4 of the way full or half full or something like that. So I'm sure that probably actually fucks with efficiency perhaps as well. I'm not exactly sure, but long and short of it is I've watched a few videos on this and I'm going to try to do it, like take what I learned there and apply it to this specific system. And basically you just kind of turn the boiler off, and then you have these two valves here. So I'm assuming because we have two valves, one is for like upstairs, one is for downstairs. You can kind of follow the pipes and kind of get that. You're supposed to turn something else off too. I haven't seen that though, so I'm gonna have to look a little bit more. But effectively, when you turn this off, the system, stops. You put a hose on here, and then you open this valve up, and the water that is in the thing like kind of gets pressurized through, and it just spews it out. So like more water comes in. I think there's, in our case up here, like this is like the line, I think, from the actual supply, like the, you know, there's the water line from outside, right? So the water comes in here, and then this is actually like a valve to like step it down, like maybe a regulator, I can't remember the term right now, but like it steps it down. So if you turn this thing up, then it's like full pressure. But if you turn it down, it's like a pressure regulator, I'm pretty sure. If you turn it down like to where it is, it's way less pressure. Like from here to here, it's way less pressure. So water's coming in, you know, goes into the thing and then it goes out or whatever. So I think in theory, unless I've turned something else off, all I need to do is turn that guy off, turn this on, and then that hose on here, the pressure throughout the system will push all of the air out basically, because it's pushing, it's not like a closed system anymore, it's pushing the air out. And then once I see like no more bubbles like in the water, you know, it's just like a steady stream. If you ever like turned on a faucet after work has been done, or like they were working on the water line or something, you see like it's spitting a little bit. Once it's done doing that and it's a steady stream, then I can turn that valve off, and hypothetically then the pipes, I guess, are full again, right? Because there's no air in there. It seems like a simple process. I've put it off for a long time. And the last thing I want to mention here is I put it off because I thought two things. One, I didn't want to fuck it up during the cold months, but two, I thought that like you probably shouldn't do it in the cold months because like you're mixing like hot and cold water, and maybe that like would fuck something up. So I wanted to try to get it to a point where it's like kind of steady in temperature and steady in like the usage of this, which is kind of minimal now, slightly more minimal. I don't know if that matters at all because it's still being used, so I don't know what the temperature of the water is. But at this point, I don't really give a shit, because if I break this, yeah, I won't break it. But if it did happen, we'd be fine. So yeah, I am going to try to figure this out, because the one variable in this, I have no idea what the fuck this thing does. I've never seen this little guy here at all. You can barely see it on the camera too, because not a lot of light here. But this little turny thing, don't know what that does. But I'm going to try it, try to figure this out and deal with all that. And then also, I'll just mention this real quick too, because I'm not sure how quickly I will film after this. Out here, we had this little, like, you know, hose thing. Probably gonna get rid of that, because this is the hose that I'm gonna be using for that whole boiler situation. And I had an interesting idea for this, because I wanna do a lot crazy storage in this you know, space, this garage here. So I think I'm gonna end up taking these down, taking those shelves down, and I don't know, probably doing something with this. And then this whole side of this, not today necessarily, but this whole side of this garage is gonna be some really sick storage stuff. I've got some good ideas. So a lot of plans there, but that's all kind of preliminary. I just was kind of dealing with this, and I have to deal with this. I'm actually probably gonna cut this hose, because I wanna bring the hose around and out this way rather than out our doors over there, while I'm doing this whole bleeding process. And then I'm probably just gonna end up getting rid of this hose, and we'll get a new one, because we're probably not gonna need like a crazy hose like this. We have a little garden down there, but it has nothing there. I'm probably gonna get one of those hoses that like scrunch up or something like that. I'm not exactly sure yet, but look, wish me luck on this boiler thing. I'm gonna go see if I break our heating system. Okay, so a little bit of an update here. In the garage, I don't know how long it's been, maybe like half an hour or so. But I'm gonna show you the garage, and then I'm gonna talk about the rest here. So I took off all the stuff that was on this wall here. I want to kind of, there's no reason for us to have all that drywall, because I don't plan on making holes in the wall, and you can't really use pieces of drywall if you drywall something, which I don't even know if we're going to do or not, but we're going to deal with all that. There's some wood, a little bit of wood behind there. There's some stuff from like, I think that was like extra from the bathroom upstairs that we didn't do. You know, it's just the existing stuff. This is like tile that's like down here. I'm not sure what that is exactly, but I'm going to eventually deal with this stuff. But I took the little rack thing, these little guys, off the wall. We're gonna do something cooler there. Plus we're gonna paint this wall, all of them really white, and fix up like any sort of like, because there's cracks over here too. This is obviously like an interior one. But we should probably do something with all that stuff. I'm assuming, you know, while you have it, you should probably do it. But so I took off those things. There was some shelving up there. I took all that off. That's just chilling over here. I'm gonna take off those shelves as well at some point, but that's not right this second. So I did all that, kind of cleaned up a little bit as far as like just the grossness of like cobwebs and stuff. I want to do this very soon. This is the Ethernet cable, and that's like a pull cable for if we ever need to run more wires. I want to put that like up into the ceiling, or like on the ceiling there, so it's not hanging down. Just never did that. And then just, I guess while we're in here, it'd be really cool one day to have this a little different of a setup here. So like we have just like this thing right here. It definitely needs to be smart, but I'm not sure if we're gonna do that or like one of them wall mounted ones with like we'd have to have a different system. We wouldn't have a track like this. We would have like a rod down there and something else. So I don't necessarily know what's gonna go on there, but you know, something like that at some point maybe. Yeah, I got all this other stuff over here. So I'm just gonna kind of throw some of this stuff away. I'm trying to use this hose. Let's go in here and talk about this damn boiler because I looked at another YouTube video and now I'm like even more confused. So like I turned off the boiler, cool. We have our 2 valves here. Now I thought like, you know, every other fucking thing that I've seen, I thought it was like upstairs and downstairs. And if that was the case, like, I don't really understand how those loops work, but I thought it was something like that. And maybe it still is, but I'm just not fully understanding. So one thing that I thought would be interesting though is just kind of trace the pipes. So this pipe, I'm gonna try to do my best here, and maybe I should make a diagram at some point too, just for my own knowledge. But like, okay, let's start with this front one. Okay, so this one goes up. Well, actually, let's start at the very beginning. So I'm pretty sure, like I said, that the line comes in, then it comes down here, and like this is where the water goes. So like water, I guess, goes into the boiler, and then it goes to the other places. Like, I don't fully understand that, but okay. So this, let's trace this pipe though. So it goes up here, goes across the ceiling in the basement. It comes over this wall, goes over here, goes down into this radiator right here in the gym. Then it goes up, and I'm not sure if this is the right way, you know, like I'm not sure if this is the right direction that the water's flowing, but it's all closed loop. So then it goes up, but this motherfucker goes into the upstairs, and that's the office. There's a radiator on the corner of the office. So it goes in on that side, and then, you know, I'm assuming it has to go this way, right? There's nothing in the attic, so there's only one way for it to go. So it comes all the way down here. I would assume this is where it comes out. There's a little pipe right there. So it comes down. This is very interesting to me because I don't know if that's like a key thing to, I've heard that you can bleed radiators at like the radiator, but our radiators don't have any of that on them. So I'm wondering if this is something that like, that you could bleed. So that's kind of interesting. I don't really know if that's going to help us at all, but that's kind of interesting. So then let's keep going. So then we come across here, and it comes to right about here. Okay, you know, just a few feet off the wall, and by my estimation, I don't actually know. I thought originally it was the bathroom. I still kind of think it is the bathroom, because then, you know, the toilet is right there. The radiator is on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and safely assume that's the bathroom. Because then like 4 feet over here, it's a small radiator in there. There's another one. So it comes down. Then it goes over here. It goes down this way. And I kind of lose it here. But, you know, I'm not exactly sure where it goes. But let's just assume it goes straight. So it goes straight, straight, straight. And then this is pretty much lined up with it. So it might go into this radiator, and then goes over here to this one, goes up there, up, look at that, and then it goes up into the kitchen, okay? And then from the kitchen, I would have to assume it goes back this way, and like now we're in the podcast studio, I'm wondering if we hit everyone. So I'm assuming it has to go in there, and then over to here, and I know this is a podcast studio, so I don't know how easy this is to understand. Probably not very easy, given that, I don't know, it's just all over the fucking place. I'm just very confused. Regardless, though, if I made a wrong turn, then I made a wrong turn, but then it came through here, which is, there's another little bleeder thing on there. I'm assuming that's a bleeder, I don't know, but apparently that's that. And then this comes in here, and then goes up and over to here, and then goes up. This one goes upstairs right here. You can see that. So that's in like the living room area. Yeah, I mean, I'm just super fucking confused because like throughout that whole thing, I didn't see anything in the bedroom. And I mean, I'm assuming it all works. But okay, so let's hang on a second. So I'm really just talking through this for myself and for my own personal record here. But let's take all that back for a second, or let's not take it back, but let's look at the other one. So this other one, because if I'm thinking it's all the same, like I don't really understand how that is. I mean, I guess it's got to come back somehow. But why is there two valves? Do I need to do two valves? I don't fully understand that. Maybe there's only one system, like only one loop. I don't really get that. But anyway, so so then this one goes that way. You know what a good idea might be? If I turned it on and I felt which one was hot, which one was hotter than the other. Maybe it does like go up and then come back. I don't know. That's just a random idea. But this one right here goes up and over. Now, I have no idea where that goes, but I could only assume this house really isn't that fucking big. I can only assume that it goes straight over to the bedroom somehow. I wish the ceiling in the what's it called? I wish the ceiling in the garage was exposed. That would be helpful. But yeah, so it goes over there. And now here's another thing. So, and that might, continue to do the loop or whatever, but that pipe right there, the one that goes seemingly into like the expansion tank and into like back into the boiler there, that one goes up and goes like straight down that way. And it's the one that there's like some trim on those steps there. And it goes right behind here. Runs right behind here, and it's very loud and obnoxious, and you can hear it all the time. You can kind of see it in here a little bit. So more than anything, I'm just super confused because I don't know. I think ultimately I could just do, what I was kind of thinking of and open those up and do it, but I just would like to know what the fuck's going on if I'm going to be tinkering around here because I don't understand how that really plays into it. But I think there are some diagrams online that I might have to take a look at. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Like, obviously we have our expansion tank here. So I don't understand exactly. Maybe I'll have to feel the pipes too. Maybe that would help. So yeah, if you are looking to do this for yourself, make sure you do some research. Hopefully what I said kind of helped. But yeah, this is wacky. All right, well, I did some more work and more research. So let me tell you how it went. And how we're doing here. I took the rest of the shelves off, like I said I wasn't going to do right now. And I'm really liking the way that this garage is starting to look with less shit on the walls. And the real reason, one of the big reasons is because, like I mentioned, we do have some more cracks like over on that side and over on that side. So if we can get everything like kind of out of here, off the walls or whatever, then we can address that and deal with all that sort of shit. And then we'll build back like with like a fucking, like a thing on the wall here, for instance. I don't know. We have a lot of plans there. But anyway, I was kind of just procrastinating and doing this boiler thing. I took this side piece off here because I'll put a link in the description of the video that I was watching. Really informative, but I just couldn't really like take that knowledge and apply it to my scenario. But here's what I'm thinking. I think that the water comes in through past this little yellow valve, gets pressure regulated here, comes down into here. I actually think it tees off, and I don't understand pressure or anything like that, but it's a closed loop, system. So I actually think it goes that way. It goes down into that, in that pipe, comes into the boiler right there, gets heated. Hot water comes out of here, which I should, again, maybe if this stuff was on, I could actually get a better idea. But I think the hot water comes out of here. This is, like a expansion tank for that sort of thing. Then the hot water goes up through that pipe there. It just goes straight down that way, which actually I know for a fact that pipe is very hot. So I bet you that is the one that, obviously carries it because that's the one that's behind that trim over there, like I was saying earlier. So it goes out there. Somehow I think it tees off or something, maybe if there is like a two-zone thing. That's the part that's kind of confusing me because then at some point it comes back and that's these two right here. So this guy and this guy, don't worry about this one. That's the one that we went up first. So then we have these two pipes here, And ultimately, I think it's two zones somehow or whatever, and it comes down into here. And then we have this thing, which was always been the bane of my existence, and I don't understand what it is. But what I think is the case is the reason it was tripping me up, and if you have a similar situation, watch that other video, because I think that's like a newer, better way to handle this fucking plumbing here. But I think what this does is that it's all the way open. It's like up top here, it's all the way open. All the way down here, it's closed. So that means I think that if it's all the way closed, then water, you know, this is like a valve and it can't get past here. I think, don't know. But these are the service valves, right? Like the, you know, the drain valves or whatever for this type of scenario. And I think if I leave this like this, I open this valve, I have this thing turned off, I think it'll all work. But what I might need to do is like close it so the water can't get through, because what I'm effectively doing, I think, is water is coming in, it's pushing it through the system. And then when I would be draining it, I'm just obviously getting all that air out of there. But like, I'm kind of concerned about like what happens like down here. I don't know if that needs to be off or whatever, because I think that's, like I said, just the valve for like, you know, basically think about like coming down like this, it just stops it there. I honestly have no idea. I wish this was a different piece of, you know, fixture here, but I just need to do it. I don't really care anymore. I'm just gonna try it because it's really a simple thing. I'm just overanalyzing it, but I've literally never seen this anywhere. Like I can't find it anywhere. So let's just give it a go. All right, here's the deal. I've spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to watch how to bleed a boiler and then apply that to this situation right here. I talked about it in the vlog, but I think all I have to do, boiler's off, I think all I have to do is turn this, and then this hose that goes around through the garage and outside to right there will start shooting out water, and then when it's done and there's no more air coming out of it, I think we'll be good. I literally have no idea what's going to happen when I turn this valve, and I'm pretty sure I broke this when I tightened it, but I just said, fuck it, let's see what happens here. So, oh, fingers crossed. All right, if water goes everywhere, I need to turn this off. Oh my God. It is leaking a little. Oh, yeah, it's leaking a lot. No, not really good with that. Oh dear. It's leaking a good bit, but flooding outside. Damn it, I really wish I wouldn't have broke that thing, because this would have been a pretty good success. Oh yeah, that's not bueno. I should get a bucket. I'm gonna get a bucket. I hope I'm not breaking anything. Running. Bucket. Solved. Problem solved. Okay. I'm supposed to be looking at this. How am I gonna know? How am I gonna know? I don't know how I'm gonna know when this is done. That's supposed to get warm, I think. When it goes through, that's cold. If this actually works though, this is gonna be great. I'm soaking my lawn. It's still cold. Not sure what's going on here. It's still cold. This sucks. What's happening? Let's go back in here. So make sure I'm not flooding the home. Sounds like it's doing something. Okay, truthfully, this is really the moment of truth here. Hopefully the water goes in the same type of spot. It was a pain in the ass to get that in. Tried not to kink it, but it's in a terrible spot. I'm gonna flip this up and hopefully nothing breaks. Oh my God, nope, that's not a good idea. No, we're not gonna do that there. No, that's a little too much leakage. All right. Need to find a different plan. All right, got a little bit of an update here. I actually tried to do it. You should be following me on Instagram, because if you were, then you would actually be able to see the stuff in real time. Mark J. Szymanski, go follow me there. But maybe I'll throw some of those clips in or whatever of like, you know, kind of what I was doing. But I need to just update you on this. So here's the deal. I tried to use that other hose that other hose that went around, and I had it like down here and it was around into there, and that didn't work obviously. Or it did work for this first one. Now this one's like still a little drippy. And this one in the back, I tried to put it in here, water everywhere. You probably saw it. And then, but here's the situation now, okay? So I have this, and this is a new hose. I'm concerned that it's dripping a little bit, but if I turn that on, I gotta, make sure that this hose is going, the water's going to that bucket. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to just send it. I'm gonna put the camera down and I'm just gonna send her. All right, pray for me, because here goes nothing. I got 2 buckets. Let's see what happens. And we're leaking a little. Not much. Bucket is already half full, and I've seen no air. This is so dumb. I didn't see one squirt of air. And the water's cold. Thought it was supposed to be hot. Not one of my better jobs. This is so stupid. Oh my God. Legitimately have no idea what's going on. It's cold. I thought it was supposed to be hot when it gets to the boiler. I thought there would be air. There's no air. I'm so perplexed. Turning it off. God fucking damn it. I got no idea. I mean, it was cold. Like it wasn't like warm at all. It was cold. I'm not sure what to say. The only other thing that I could think of is play around with this thing, this turning thing. Turn to 1 or 2, then open drain. What does that mean? Does it mean turn 2? Like turn to 1 and then open the 1? Well, let me dump these buckets out. I'm just wasting water at this point. All right, I've dumped the buckets out. I don't know, I'm still concerned that this is gonna continue to drip, and that's not good, because I don't know how I'm gonna fix that other than get a new valve. But hopefully that just rectifies itself. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn this damn thing, and I'm very scared to do this, because this has also probably never been turned. I'm gonna turn it to, fuck it, I'll show you. I'll show you exactly what I'm gonna do. Just in case you're ever in this situation, you don't have to make mistakes that I'm making. Here's what my plan is. I have just left this open, in the open position. This is apparently a circuit setter or something like that. I don't fucking know. They don't even make it like this anymore. But this thing turns, so I'm gonna try to turn it this way. It says to purge, turn to 1 or 2, then open drain. So I'm gonna assume that this is like 1 is 1 or 2 or whatever, and then open the drain. Now closed, I don't know what the fuck that would do, but I guess we'll just try it again. I don't know. I turned it to the right side, and we are going to try this out. Oh my God, here we go. Oh. Interesting. I mean, it's not freezing cold. Not warm though, but I didn't see any air. It really smells kind of. Probably been in there for a while. Ew. 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 I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea. This is why I put this off. It is warmer than it was though. But I mean, I also haven't tested it, right? Like I haven't turned the thing back on to see if it makes like all the gurgling noises and shit. And I also don't know how long this is supposed to take to go through this. Yeah, zero idea, dude. Zero idea. I mean, yeah. No idea. I don't know. I'm kind of interested now, though. Like, while we're doing this exploration, I'm kind of interested. What if I turn it to the other side? And then open that same valve again? And what happens if I turn it to the bottom? I decided to just turn it back on. Turn the boiler back on. And just try to maybe listen to, like, what it sounds like. Because that was the point. You know, get the air out of it. Make it sound less gurgly. And I actually think I might have made it worse. I mean, I could definitely hear this radiator down here, but again, I'm not sure how that looping system works. So I don't even fucking know, dude. I actually think I might have made it worse. At minimum, it's not better. Like, it's not silent how it's supposed to be. So. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely not better. It's definitely not how it should be. I can't even explain how fucking annoying this is. Never, never again we'll have a house with boiler heat. Never. Just as an update here, I pretty much tried everything. I had the hose back here, and I had it turned up this way, and then I had it turned that way. I tried it. Didn't really ever see any air come out of the hose. I even fucked with this at some point. I think this is that pressure regulator. I turned it, to give the whole pressure. Never really saw any air. It seemed like it was just working. Then I tested the thing. I turned it back on, and it sounded pretty much, yeah, like I said, just as bad. And then I just did this again, like 2 more times. I turned it to the bottom, like closed or whatever, and I tried it on both, and I didn't really see any air either. I just saw like the water was kind of like gross looking. Some like sediment stuff in there, which is understandable. And one thing to note was that after I tested it, like this pipe was hot over here, like this one here, and then like everything, like these pipes were hot too. So that kind of tells me that we get good heat throughout the system. That's good. But I still heard all that shit. And then like now, like after I've ran it through, obviously all the hot water is gone. Like this is all, it's not hot anymore. So I don't really know what the fuck's going on. I don't know if I'll ever solve this problem. I'm going to turn it back on now and see if it still makes as much noise, but I don't see why I wouldn't, because I don't know what the fuck's going on. So this is upsetting.